how judging a book by its cover can really tarnish relationships and also tarnish your love for yourself. You're going to find that out all in this video. So welcome back to another video. I'm Maximilian and I help people empower their lives and take them from where they are to where they want to be. When you judge someone, yet you don't even know them, they could be your next relationship. They could be like intimate relationship. They could be a business partner. They could be a great friend. But you could have ruined that by assuming and maybe hurting their feelings. Now, I've had people judge me by the way I look or what I do sometimes. And I don't take offense by it because I understand and I see their point. So today, I was in the spa and had a conversation, a really interesting conversation with my mentor and a couple of ladies, and we were speaking about what we do and things like that and what I do, and I was telling them what I do and things like that. And she said to me, when I first got in, because I'm vegan, I don't look like the typical person that would be vegan. Well, I don't know. I feel like I do. I don't know. But other people assume maybe I would look. I've got tattoos. I look like the type of person that maybe wouldn't be into the stuff that I'm into. And she said to me, after we had the conversation, I gave her some details. We had a really nice, interesting conversation, and I'm gonna help out her and her family. And she was saying, I initially judged you because I see you in here every morning, and I wasn't sure what you do. And because I'm in there maybe a bit later than some people, so she might assume that I'm not working. Now, I work a bit later. I start a bit later than most people, but I normally finish a bit later than most people. Or I work a lot later through the evening, and 7 days a week, so I work a lot. But because she's seen me in there, she made an assumption, and that's not wrong at all. That is not wrong. We all make assumptions. But she said, I just assumed that you weren't this type of person. And the friend that she was with was vegan, and she was gonna say that she was vegan, but she didn't want to say it because she would have thought that maybe I would be like saying to her, being like, oh no, oh that's weird, and all that stuff. So we make judgments in our head, and we create stories in our head. And this was a story that panned out the complete opposite to what someone assumed, and that is essentially judging a book by its cover. When you can get away from judging a book by its cover, and you can assume that they are the person that you are going to have your next relationship with, or the person that you're going to do business with, or the person that you are going to make a great friend with, you will be much more prepared, and you will create much better relationships. So, a few of the things that I do actually, in order to help me sustain this mindset of not judging a book by its cover, the first one is speak to them. Before you even think anything, just say hello. If they don't reply, just say bye-bye. or just don't talk at all. I've had that many times before. I've been trying to speak to someone, and I've literally had, this was the exact reply. No, I don't talk in here. When I was in the sauna, and she literally went like this. No, I don't talk in here. And I was like, okay. Is it something I said? And I just assumed like maybe she's making an assumption about me, and am I offended? Not at all, because maybe I'm a scary. I'm definitely not scary at all. The least scary person you could ever see, I hope. But maybe she's made an assumption, and that doesn't make her a bad person. That doesn't make her wrong. That's just, she's just learned to do that, and it's a learned behaviour, and the more times you do it, the easier it becomes. It's like riding a bike. The more times you do it, the easier it becomes. The more times you learn the alphabet, the easier it becomes. We're not programmed with anything. You're not programmed to judge people. That is because there's so many people judging around you. It's just a natural thing for you to do. So I understand it, and it's completely fine. It's just about trying to help them if they want to be helped. Now, we can't help people who don't want to be helped. So that's a video for another day. But one of my favourite things to do is treat them like they are your favourite celebrity, or that they are you from the future, and you just want to talk to them. When you treat them like this, for example, if you met your favourite celebrity right now, how would you treat them? Maybe not exactly like that. Oh my god, I love you, you're amazing, because you don't obviously know them. But treat them in a way that there's someone who's of high value in your life. Someone who you look up to that isn't like your biggest admiration, and someone that you really admire for what they've done, and you respect them on a high level. Because if you give respect and you show appreciation to someone, they are going to give you exactly a conversation, not all the time, admittedly, and that's perfectly fine. Not everyone does. But the more you do it, the easier it gets, like I say. So, all you have to do is speak to them like you would speak to someone. Let's say you're interested in business. If there was someone, so I'll give you a few examples. So interested in business. If there was someone who you knew had £1 million for an investment, and your idea was gonna, you know in your mind, we all know our first idea is gonna right to the top, all the way up. But you know it's gonna work. They've got £1 million investment. You know if you speak to them right, you have a great conversation, they're gonna invest in you. How much are you gonna how are you gonna speak to them? How are you going to interact with them? What are you gonna say to them? And how are you gonna make them feel? How do you want them to feel at the end of the conversation? Now, that's the biggest thing. When you set an intention and you say, right, I want them to feel maybe inspired. I want them to feel happy. I want them to feel joyful. I want them to laugh. I want them to, whatever the emotion you want them to feel, set that intention before you have that conversation. And when you truly do this, this is where it just becomes, I believe intentions in general are probably one of the biggest things. When you set an intention for a goal, when you set an intention for the day, when you set an intention for a conversation, it makes it more powerful because you know your outcome. When you know your outcome, you can be aware of what's around you, you can get to your outcome. Then you can behave in the way that gets you to that outcome, and you can develop rapport with the people and become in rapport with them and have great relationships with them. Whether it's once, whether it's 1,000,000 times, who knows? But treat them just as they would like to be treated, like I say. So they're in business, you would treat them very, very decently. You would really try to impress them and make them feel good. You would want them to feel good at the end of the day. The main thing is wanting them to feel good. So let's go with another example of maybe you're a semi-pro athlete and you want to get to that pro level. You meet someone who's a pro athlete or a manager that you know can get you there. Or it could be someone in YouTube, it could be someone in a new job, it could be a boss. How do you speak to them? With respect, with gratitude, and you normally question them. You're curious. When you're curious about someone, we love to talk about ourselves. But never judge someone before you've spoken to them. So the final thing for you to do to help you stop judging people is stop judging yourself. Now this is the most important one. Stop judging yourself. Stop judging what you did yesterday. If you fucked up yesterday, you messed up on a right royal scale, stop judging yourself. Today's gone. Oh, yesterday's gone. Now you're today. You're here today. You have the ability to make a change. Don't let anyone ever, not ever, tell you that it's not possible for you to change, because it is possible for you to change. But if your self-belief isn't there, then you're never going to change. But when you truly love yourself, you no longer need this outside information, this outside form of recognition to feel great. Therefore, when you don't judge yourself, you won't have feel the need to judge others. Remember, hurt people hurt people. Judged people judge people. And I truly believe this will work in whatever terms you wanna put it in. And if you're being judged by someone else, know that they are probably very judgmental of themselves, and they probably have been judged by others. So when they start judging you, you know that that's coming from a learned behavior. So when you learn to love yourself, you learn to stop judging yourself, you no longer feel the need or want to judge someone else. You understand. And sometimes you might even have to see it from their perspective. Now I see a lot of people, this used to happen a long time ago, not now as much because so many more people have tattoos, but the original stigma around tattoos was thuggish and you look like a thug, especially people with face tattoos. And people make an assumption straight away. So there was a great story of a guy who was absolutely covered in tattoos, like face, arms, legs, everything. He was a big guy as well, bodybuilder, and they did a social experiment, and there was 2 social experiments. One of them was he walked out in public, covered in tattoos, looking like he normally would, and asked people if they had change for a tenner, and in the exact money, and immediately people started to back away when he would ask them. And he said it really politely. He was like, "Oh, excuse me, do you have change for a tenner?" And he said it really politely, and no one offered him change. Then they did it where they put makeup all over his tattoos, on his face, everything. And I believe it was it was more than 50% of the people he spoke to gave him the change. Now, that just goes to show that we judge people straight away and think, oh, he's going to rob us, he's thuggish, because he's got covered in tattoos. Now, we live in such a community where so many people have tattoos, and now they look quite nice, if I don't say so myself. But so many people have them, so companies can't say you can't have tattoos. Now, there's some that can, and still do. I don't understand it personally. If I was employing someone and they had tattoos, if they can do the job, who cares? Who cares? They got, I wouldn't get employed in a lot of places because, not that I want to, because I've got it over the wrist line. There. So, like, what is that? How does that stop someone from working? How does that stop them from doing their job? That's my opinion. So my biggest thing is stop judging people completely. Never judge someone. And even if they've been mean, just see it from their perspective. And that's the biggest thing. So first of all, never judge. Even if they are rude and a bit obnoxious to you, see it from their perspective. Understand. Again, that's a video for another day. But I hope you like this video. I hope this video has given you some value. And if this has given you some value, please share it with a friend. I'd be very grateful. So have an absolutely amazing day. Keep smiling, keep that smiles up, and keep spreading positivity.